Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Aftermath. And I remember seeing these trailers and thinking, it just looks like a period piece romance, doesn't seem anything special. The cast has Keira Knightley, who's basically in half of all period pieces, right? Seems like it. And Alexander Skarsgård and Jason Clarke, who pops up in things and does a fine job and never really stands out to me, honestly. And all of those preconceptions basically were the truth about this film. And I think that's the most disappointing part, is it's like, I read this kind of like a book, right off the bat, and that's exactly what it was. James Kent delivers a beautifully shot period piece. Production's great, everything looks perfectly like it should be in this post-World War II era film, and like, what really got me, though, is the first third of this film actually really worked for me. Building a lot of tension and really pulling back some layers on the characters. Honestly, Keira Knightley was pretty unlikable for me for the vast majority of this film, so that kind of took me out of it. And I really felt bad for Alexander Skarsgård, and you start finding these layers about this marriage between Jason Clarke and Keira Knightley, because based off of the trailers, basically you just see, like, there's some awkwardness when they first see each other at the train station, because they, like, hug like old acquaintances and not like a married couple. And those layers, it deals with grief and the idea of how to deal with it and how to move on from loss. And honestly, there's this big backdrop of the political atmosphere after World War II that I felt like is very interesting and could have been delved in deeper. And when they do delve in deeper with it in a subplot dealing with Alexander Skarsgård's daughter and some rebel, it didn't work for me, and it felt like it was distracting from like the main point of the story. It didn't feel like it organically layered the film. It just like, why am I dealing with this scene over here? And it's just like basically if they cut that subplot out and really just focused on the human interactions and then had a little bit of layers to build some tension, because there's some great tension the first third of this movie, and great sexual tension between Alexander Skarsgård and Keira Knightley. But honestly, by the time you get to the point where it's like this affair, this love story really happens, then it's kind of just like, ugh. You kind of lose all the tension and kind of lose interest in the film. And it took me out of it. And towards the end, it's just like, okay, this is a period piece, and this is going to happen, and that happens, and it lost me. And that's disappointing, because it had me for a little bit, and then it just kind of came undone. And those are really my thoughts. Like, it's a beautiful film. Music's great. The production design's great. Like, everything in it's put together so well, and then it's just the story just loses it. And like, the acting, Keira Knightley's great, Alexander Skarsgård's great, Jason Clarke's fine, he does his job. And there you go. And that's if you're really into period pieces, you'll probably love this film. Go enjoy it. It's out there. Find it in the theater near you. If you're not into period pieces and you want something more out of this film than just enjoying this period, this really isn't something that I would recommend. And those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. And thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.